yeah, we are in the place to be,
Talofa, Maloelele, and Bulavanaka. My name is Ruby Fanaika Fangao, and I'm here to encourage Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian law students to charter Pasifika Law Students at your school. I am a first-generation law school graduate, graduating in 2017 from an ABA-approved law school. I am also self-identified Samoan, Tongan, and Fijian. I am proud to be the first law school grad in my family, and my hope is to inspire more students to share resources and knowledge. My classmates and I banded together to found the first Pasifika Law Students at an American Bar Association approved law school in California in the fall of 2016. The founding board members are myself, Maria, Shanti, Sierra, and Leoma. Leoma was our first-year representative. This brand was created in New Zealand and Australia to support Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian students in Pasifika legal issues. But my classmates and I believe that this organization was just as needed in the United States. We were right. This organization is needed because of our growing but underserved population. Our club was the first of this type in the country to prioritize our people and issues. And I encourage more Pasifika Law students to charter this organization at your school. Who are Pasifika? We are the descendants of Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian people. Although we are different groups, and within those groups we are different ethnicities with our own distinct lands and languages, we do share similar history, culture, and politics. You may be asking yourself, what laws impact our community? Immigration law, because many people in our community need additional assistance in filing for visas or overcoming a rejection letter. Family law, because like it or not, we have divorces and disputes of child custody in our community and people who need representation or advice. Criminal law, because it's a reality that we face. Having first and second generation American kids, some of our youth are in the wrong place at the wrong time and need counsel. Entertainment law, because let's face it, we're talented people. But instead of just producing actors, artists, and athletes, let's also produce representation, contract lawyers, and negotiators. Sports law, because we know that our people are big on sports. However, we don't have the same passion in the law, but we should. We are just as smart and some might say more passionate. Some of our favorite sports include football, rugby, golf, and basketball. Intellectual property law, because we have a lot of talented writers, storytellers, and inventors who need counsel. Property law, because as our population grows in the United States, inevitably our wealth will grow. This means that we'll have acquired more property, and with property comes disputes. Hence, representation is needed. Torts law, because accidents happen. On the job, in a store, or on a friend's property. When you're the plaintiff, you'll wish you had effective counsel. Civil procedure, contracts, constitutional law, and international law. Basically the same issues as other Americans. Why else should you charter Pasifika Law Students at your ABA-approved law school? Because we want to support Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian law students. Because we want our attorney community to grow, and because we want our community to thrive. It's important that our diverse Pacific communities come together, organize, and pool our resources and knowledge. For that reason, it's in our best interest to create more Pasifika organizations, such as Pasifika Law Students. What's the difference between this student org and others? This one is ours. It's Pacific. We welcome allies and supporters from all groups. It's good for Pasifika Law students to collaborate, but it's also important that we have an organization devoted to our underserved needs and people. When we join someone else's organization, we promote other people's issues and interests, so we should make an effort to take care of our needs, while wisely supporting others in an effort to foster community. Since Pasifika Law Students' founding chapter began in 2016, we focused on two key issues: climate change in the Pacific and Free West Papua. Our first big event was Climate Change in the Pacific. We hosted the event at a neighborhood restaurant and invited classmates, teachers, and friends. Climate change is a controversial topic because many deny this phenomenon, but members of the Pacific Islands are bringing testimonies and reports of their personal observations of the effects of climate change, including rising sea levels and disappearing islands. These islanders are reporting a physical displacement due to drastic change in weather patterns. Studies are showing a relationship between human activities such as pollution and climate change. Our guest speakers were from San Diego 350, which is an environmental activist group. One of our board members is from Federal States of Micronesia. She opened with prayer. She also gave a face to climate change by explaining how her people are affected by rising sea levels and disappearing islands. The guest speakers did a lot of research and brought maps of the Pacific and materials to present their slideshow on climate change, how it's affecting the Pacific and the world at large, explaining how this is an environmental issue, but also human rights issue, because many Micronesians and other Pacific Islander people are suffering due to rising sea levels and disappearing islands, essentially disappearing homes. After the presentation, we stayed behind and danced the night away, because as Islanders, we love to talk story, raise awareness about pressing issues, and also fill our hearts with music and sometimes dance. The other issue we tackled was Free West Papua, which is also controversial because while the indigenous Melanesian people of West Papua are demanding sovereignty, their occupying nation is denying the claim, essentially denying their freedom. We shared this discussion in an article for the school newspaper and talked about it further at a general meeting. Many law students had not heard of this issue before because Free West Papua is occurring all the way in the Pacific. But as Americans, we are so far away from the problem, there being a big divide between the regions. But thanks to the good work of Pasifika Law Students, the Free West Papua issue became more relevant to American law students, some drawing similarities between Free West Papua and the Armenian genocide. Unlike climate change, the Free West Papua issue is even more remote because it's only affecting Melanesian people of Pacific territory. Whereas climate change is a talking point for United States presidential candidates and reported in the news and social media more often. But the hidden issue of Free West Papua illustrates the importance of Pasifika Law Students and the importance of Pacific representation. If our student club didn't raise awareness, who do you think would have? Organizations which don't prioritize Melanesian or Pacific issues? No, they wouldn't. When your community legal issue becomes more pressing, do you think those student orgs that don't prioritize Pacific people will raise awareness, host an event, write an article? They will not, because we are not a priority for them. For that reason, I implore Pasifika students to organize with other Pasifika students and allies to charter Pasifika Law Students. It's more efficient and it's healthier for us to prioritize our own pressing issues. We can do this. We've accomplished so many other things in our Pacific history, and we will charter these new waters together. Want to see photos and discussions from our org? Then visit our Facebook page. Type Pasifika Law Students into Facebook, and we are the one in San Diego, California. To continue this work, I co-host a law podcast with my former classmate, Leoma. Our show is called Pasifika Issues Podcast. It's a free podcast, so tune in to hear Pasifika analysts talk about legal issues. You'll find us at anchor.fm/Pasifika. For interested law students, parents, and readers, I want to mention that I am the author of Law School Comic Book 1L, which is available in ebook form. This book is good for aspiring law students and those who want to read about first-generation experiences. It includes study strategies, lessons, and funny stories. An easy but helpful read. For more information, email lawschoolcomicbook@gmail.com. Happy studying and best of luck on exams.